Hello everyone and welcome on back to the ILIAD esports scene. Overwatch action coming at you right for your FaceIt. I'm D-Lo, the man behind the mic. Join with me, the almighty eyes in the sky. You've of course got Hippie. Keep the prod lights on and that cam steady right alongside our friend Orange. Nice and high in vitamin D content and also some delectable cam work on the way. As I said before, ARTEMIS on the horizon here, trying to hunt down a big win up against quite the threatening opponent, NTMR. Now, ARTEMIS, of course, is known as being the goddess of the wild hunt, so if you're going to be looking for bigger prey, try to snipe it down with a well-aimed arrow. Certainly no better team than the lads of ILIAD ARTEMIS to do it, and its familiar faces doing it as well. Last time I was up in here, I got the pleasure of being able to commentate several games from these peerless peers, and they did a pretty solid job of unleashing that synergy, and even from behind, they still play with a good amount of moxie. NTMR, though, are certainly going to be a tough one to look at, so we'll have to find out as we take a wider look at the whole ILIAD ARTEMIS cinematic universe, if they can bring some success. Unfortunately, we're not quite able to find it up against Amplify. See, they're able to take one game off, one map, but nonetheless did end up falling in the end. Potentially, that could be enough of a fire to stoke vengeance at the hearth, allow ILIAD ARTEMIS a chance to punch a bit above what the others might say is in their weight class. But who's going to be doing that punching? Who's going to be the ones putting on the gloves? Well, it's the same faces you know and love. Duck on Quack, Pain, Corray, Maverick, Industrial, and Mardox. Same crew that you've come to know across several seasons, and that's great. Again, synergy is something that you can't create. It's something that's developed over time. And the fact that this team has stuck together through thick and thin, through hard losses and triumphant victories, very well could be what allows them to persevere today. That being said, who are they trying to do so against? It's NTMR, Chopper, Rocket, Ars Design, as well as Neptune and Aniam. It's going to certainly be a tall order, but one that I think ARTEMIS are relishing the chance to step up to. That being said, hope y'all are doing well. Hope your Friday nights are off to a good start. Long weekend on the horizon. Nonetheless, I got a dream that ARTEMIS is able to take down these fearsome foes. Where's the venue going to be for it is the question. First map, of course, always good for setting the pace, and Ilios is certainly the place to do it. ARTEMIS going to set the tone with a nice little Greek locale. That's not really quite the surprise. We've seen this story before, or ILIAD in general. Do quite well when it comes to this map. Well practiced on it. And you got to imagine NTMR, same story. But that just means that we know the playing field. We also know the picks you're going to be looking for. It's those boops. It's those tracer duels. Will the bans allow it? Is the almighty question. The answer is no. Tracer banned out by ILIAD ARTEMIS. NTMR answered back by defying gravity. Taking off the Zarya. No more wicked for you. As we get prepped up for the first map, you just got to imagine NTMR might be coming into this with some cocky attitudes, some bluster, some swagger in their step. ARTEMIS, on the other hand, they are the ones that are expected to be swept aside. Got to dig in your heels and quickly prove to your opponent that you are worth respect. You are worthy to be up against them. You're worthy to try to fight for that playoff spot. ARTEMIS 5-5 in the season. NTMR undefeated. Will their first blow come from the scrappy underdogs that ILIAD is known to raise? We'll find out as we hop to the match. Maverick on the staple hazard. The fact that we don't have that tracer is quite interesting, but it's the Vendetta instead. Looking to slice off some heads. Our drop down, high ground, the Diva up against them. That is going to be frustrating for Duck, who is trying to maintain range on the Freya. The back lines are the same. Lucio Kiriko that we've come to expect and come to see. Maverick puts up the spiky shield, but you're no Mega Chestnut, buddy. You get gunned down. Neptune draws first blood. Such an important target being taken out already. Suppose ill tidings here for ILIAD ARTEMIS, even though they have control of the point. They can't quite finish the job. Rocket starts to sock him. Finds a quick double and cleaves off Mardox's head. They reached for safety and security. Instead, their arm chopped off NTMR secure the point. Maverick getting just piece apart there. A bit too early. Following maybe in the footsteps of our friend Young Helios magically. Another M starting friend who does indeed prefer the hazard. And who also can be a bit over-aggressive at times. Maverick's got to make sure that they're staying in tow at the back line, staying in LOS. Of Floomfee. To ensure safety, Duck, unfortunately, can't see anything. Except stars. Rocket takes him out. Maverick, while trying to do the exact same thing, nearly accomplishes so on the Lucio. Gets taken out instead. Destruction on behalf of NTMR once more. Maverick does pivot from the hazard, recognizing that even with the dive, you weren't finding the picks quickly enough, and while they were diving, the back line just gets torn asunder. Sojourn as well for Duck.
That feels much better.
Probably just need one pick for Artemis. Start to feel good. Unfortunately, the railgun won't be what grants you it. High ground taken by NTMR. The high noon swings from the corner. Chopper manages to find Floomfee. That's all she wrote. R drops Mardox as well as Duck. As just continues to be a slaughter. Maverick takes the easy way out. A near team kill there for NTMR. They did lose Chopper, but that's A-okay. That dog did their job. 3 ults in pocket as well. This might just be a case where ILIAD Artemis got to go back to the drawing board. Vendetta ult incoming. Rocket prepares for combat, lands right down on top of their body double. Proves that they are the OG. Continuity Rush comes out from Mardox, a response from an Iron, but it's far too late. All the support ultimates in the world couldn't get them to that point. A flawless start so far for NTMR. And this is the fearsome fact that if you let this first map go without anything on the board, I do fear that Artemis are in for quite the uphill battle. It's only so long that Gumption and Moxie can last you. Look at this charge. Look how long you can delay that rocket. Massacring Bang Correa on the Vendetta. There's a reason they're 7-0, folks. But Artemis are certainly going to put up the valiant effort.
5, 4, 3, 2.
Duck pivots to the Genji. Maverick back on the hazard. I'm not mad at it. I just think we need a bit more communication in who we're diving. I don't think the Maverick's going to be enough by themselves to take out a Lucio or a Kiriko. Too mobile. Too slippery. Got to flow like water. Pain Correa. Death from above nearly finishes off the Lucio right there. But Neptune is able to hip-hop away. Ast has really been the underappreciated hero of NTMR, if you ask me. The flashy play came from Rocket, but this Diva has been disgusting so far. Rocket gets the boop on top of Maverick. Ast. Bottle Rocket's Pain Correa to oblivion. No one can stop this Vendetta. It's a butcher shop. And Mardox's prime rib. You do not want to be in her way when she's cleaving. Ast will take the fall thanks to a well-timed boop. That very well could spell an attempt from Artemis to regain the point. But just as it reaches the final threshold, the contest comes in. NTMR, a great Suzu, keeps Mav alive for a bit longer. Chopper, gunned down on the Echo. Good work by Pain Correa. But now they're in trouble. Dropped by Neptune. Maverick finds Rocket in return. And Artemis do begin to garner some percentage. Ults still have not been reached by either side, though you got to imagine that Rocket's going to be first to it. Potentially only answered by Mardox. The question really is, what does Floomfee use that sound barrier for? If this get humped it down by Rocket, you really don't want to see it wasted on your own life. Can't use it selfishly, you don't have to. If Maverick walls them off like that, sound barrier comes through from Floomfee just to ensure the rest of the offensive does not go awry. And that will be the case. Demeched and dethroned. Ast will fall to their doom. 40% so far secured. And a Dragon Blade in the pocket of Duck. This is starting to look more like vintage Artemis. All thanks to Maverick. locking them inside the home. House arrest. Rocket, unfortunately, did not meet the qualifications of parole. Duck on Quack, finds the blade, finds Neptune. Can't get off much more than that. That's A-okay. Your contribution's been felt, especially if the Shurikens take out an ILIAD. Rocket answers back on the body double, but Mavericks already had their way in taking out Echo. 70% now for Artemis. Double ult to the back. NTMR have got some of their own. Only Chopper lacking. This is where things can get dicey. Sound Barrier, Kitsune Rush is such a potent combination. Will be needed. Rocket, first one to go down before the Kitsune Rushes come out. Here's the downpour. He got an umbrella. Anayan falls beneath the rain of bullets. Marduk's the real MVP of that fight. Pain Correa, not to be outdone, drops Neptune. OT secured, but not one that NTMR can put up much of a fight for. Artemis, battle back. Well done by the team to recognize that their methodology is not flawed. That hazard had its moment. That amazing spike wall to block the door. Right there. You're not going anywhere. Overestimating, or rather underestimating, the ingenuity of Maverick cost Rocket their life in more instances than one. Rocket dying early in those fights meant that those support ultimates got so much less value. And that's interesting message there in the chat. And that's what cost him.
Round 3. Capture.
All tied up. Map 1 on the line. We're going to the ruins. I will still say, Rocket is shining brightest on this Vendetta. I would love to see Pain Correa find more of these duel victories up against Neptune or Nyan. Easier said than done, especially with a Diva on the prowl. The fact that she outranges you means that the rest of the team's got to keep her under pressure instead. That's Duck in Maverick's shop. But you can see they have Pain Correa in mind. The boop comes through, and it's an amazing jump jet from Ast. Neptune says, I'll do the same thing, finds Flumphy. You do take down Rocket in response, but at this point, those environmental kills, far too potent to deny. Artemis must retreat. Pain Correa just standing in the same spot for too long, giving Ast a bit too much time to think about a solution. You see this time they cut center, recognizing that their vulnerability in that position. Spike shield comes out, but Maverick has got to be careful. Duck's able to take him out. One more on top of Rocket. Solid fight so far from Artemis as they do secure the point. Duck on this Genji. Doing really solid work, approaching ultimate at a rather speedy rate. Neptune does, though, take down Marduk's. Dash in, Suzu'd away. Should Pain Correa still be investing? They drop the shield and get dropped instead. Chopper with a 6-shooter finds 2 and combines with the other DPS for another. It's a team kill for NTMR. Tied up in percent, but NTMR soon lap. Diva and the Kitsune Rush. No ultimates for Artemis. That Dragon Blade has got to find more value than just the Lucio this go around. Especially since Neptune's going to have that beat ready. How can you approach that? It's just a blender. Kitsune Rush comes out. Marduk's keeping this in pocket. Letting them try to expend their energy against him. Pain Correa trades out for Duck. Kitsune Rush in response from Marduk's. Unhindered is Maverick. Gotta try to take out this Diva first. But the high noon could cause trouble. Pain Correa gets dropped. The downpour. Too late. The bomb already found Flumphy. Maverick, the Alamo. But Chopper is the real cowboy here. And they will fall. Dragon Blade still in pocket for Artemis, but with 75% and 2 ultimates in pocket, including that sound barrier. I think that attempt was ambitious. I like the fact that Marduk does keep that Kitsune Rush in pocket, but maybe it should have been used for a full disengage instead. Here comes Vendetta ult. Cutting off any escape won't find much. Instead, looks for Pain Correa in the side lane. Duck on Quack. Unfortunately, going to OD on that Dragon Blade. Chopper takes down Floomfy. And it's a rough look so far, if you're an Artemis fan. As a team kill comes through, the percentage falls. NTMR take map 1. Not without some solid pushback.
Play of the game.
But nonetheless, some solid work on their part. You gotta give credit to the DPS duo of NTMR, or rather Nightmare, apologies. They are deadly in every aspect. The fact that Chopper and Rocket without ultimate pressure can still garner so much for the team, it's nothing less than a nightmare. Look at that. Pain-Correa really was never able to step up off the ground. And it brings the question, if they ban the Tracer, right? I'm curious to see what Rocket's capable if they are indeed normally going to be rocking that hero, that pick. And whether Pain-Correa can step up, because we know that they've played it before. They do. But they banned it probably knowing that they don't feel as confident in the duel. Spooky stuff on the horizon, but nonetheless, I think that you could also say that Artemis have proven once again that they are still a team that should be in the running in terms of a competitive team that can still sneak a map. Maybe 2, maybe 3, off of Nightmare. That's all it takes. Momentum, folks, is what really matters sometimes. And I'd like to think that hopefully that one round is enough proof of concept for them to say, we can do this. Because they can. They absolutely can. But where is the real question? Will they be doing it next? Map 2 coming up, New Junk City. Flashpoint's always interesting. Gets a bit less stagnant. A bit more mobility. But still your same basic idea of stand into square. Thinking about what picks I'd like to see taken off the map, I'd consider the Vendetta. I don't think Pain-Correa was able to get nearly as much utility as Rocket did on that same pick. NTMR, you could potentially worry about the hazard. I think that's a very reasonable conclusion to draw after that one map they got taken out. But that being said, New Junk City, how many claustrophobic tunnels and buildings are there? The spike wall is going to matter as much. Question the scholars will have to answer. It's tough stuff. Van's coming at you in just a moment. And it does seem that Artemis have actually found a threat to instead beat Kiriko, which is interesting. I don't think Mardox did too shabby a job on the pick. NTMR, for their right, are looking at the Mauga. Clear targeting of ILIAD's tank players. And this has happened before. I've seen Magically get like triple ban across a series over in Helios, and Maverick following in their stead, attracting all the ire of Nightmare. Mauga certainly is frustrating to play against, but I'm not sure if I'm convinced that that was the greatest threat on either side. We'll find out nonetheless. Map 2 coming at you. Brought to you by the stellar cam work of Orange themselves. Thanks, Orange. Look at that duck. Pretty sick. You think it's rubber? Or like those spikes actually hurt if you touch them? I don't want to know. Nonetheless, we're off to New Junk City, folks. Where the decor, the ambiance is impeccable. I'm going to rent this out as my wedding venue. Probably cheap, no? Comp's starting to get lined up. Artemis. Staring down a scary DPS duo of Rocket and Chopper, Sojourn and the Vendetta. Seems even worse
5, 4,
than what we had to deal with before.
2, 1.
Because it's an ultimate that actually can be utilized
Initial.
100% efficiently. The Ramatra from Maverick coming out. Azaria. Banned away by NTMR last time, but this time piloted by Ast. Pain-Correa is going to stick to this Vendetta. And Amadou's going to come in instead of Duck. And unfortunately, Amadu's going to instantly be sat down by Chopper. Ardox and the Moira does provide a bit of DPS when one falls. And it's going to be useful. Takes out a 9. Bloomfeed dropped by Rocket. Takes out Maverick as well. At this point, it's all a cleanup. Sword? No, it's a mop. Wipe away the blood stains from the pit. Point started by a Nightmare. It's like the prequel movies. Your Duel of the Fates playing. Asked, a duel with their tank counterpart. Maverick, of course, on this for Matra cannot dive like the hazardous hazard they were prior. Bloomfeed. 6 of them on themselves on Chomper. Actually managed to take out 2 more. Solid work there by Artemis. Snipes the point away at 60 for Nightmare. Arnold's doing a solid job so far. This critical band maybe meant to allow the pivot to this Moira, which even when one of these DPS goes down, still opens up the possibilities for some solid picks. Amadou, now on the Tracer. Rocket, now on the back line, trying to turn this Ramatra back to scraps. You're in the Nemesis form, but someone's got to try to save you, buddy. Pain Correa, meanwhile, doing their own deadly deeds in the back, finds 2. Now they're back to mark them. They've got a vendetta after all. Maverick finally takes him out. Good patience there. And trust from the tank player. Artemis, lapping percent. Nightmare's got the back foot. Pulse bomb in pocket for Amadou. Who do they try to find? Gotta imagine Rocket you really want to try to find first, but instead Chopper snipes them away. Annihilation is ready. Points being retaken. And Nightmare near bloodlessly managed to grab it. Artemis begin to buckle and fold beneath the pressure. A near team wipe for Nightmare. Full ultimates in the pocket. Pain Correa just a frustrating enough distance from theirs that it will not be relevant. Someone's got to touch. Can it be Amadou? No, gunned down at the threshold. That's an unfortunate 0.1 loss.
Next flashpoint.
Nightmare on the move. Amadou playing this Tracer is a bit too hastily, but of course understandable given the circumstance in that moment. But dying 2 times with that pulse is an unfortunate consequence of the Mad Lad rushdown. 5 ults now for Nightmare. Speaking of, might as well use some. Sound barrier on each side. Graviton comes out. And the bloodshed begins. I already see 3, but Amadou does at least grab something. A consolation prize for Anion. But all will not be well in the world for long. Chopper cuts down Amadou to size. And Nightmare reestablished presence on the point. 2 ultimates there for 2, and the far more decisive fight victory goes to Nightmare. It's again, no surprise where they're top dogs, but Artemis have again proven they can win fights. And they can string those together to win objectives. Maverick's been holding on to this Annihilation for a long time. But you can see how the team is spread. Assault from all angles. You only have 2 arms, no matter how beefy they might be. Maverick cannot block all the bullets entering their bloodstream. Bloomfeed. Lead poison once again. Anion drops 1 more. Artemis are slowly being strangled. It doesn't feel like we have single targets marked. That's because each player of Nightmare operates with a ton of independence. Rocket solos down Amadou. Returns back to the flashpoint, says, what's crackin'? What's for dinner? Pain. Correa? Maybe. Here comes the ult charge. Pain Correa instead says, I'll serve up a dish of my own. Fried Neptune. OT reached. Annihilation still garnered. And point finally taken. ILIAD Artemis Can now build up a bit of percent, but Pain-Cray wants more. Hot Pursuit sends out the Blade Beams to try to at least whittle down some more. Ass Design falling was pivotal. Much needed respite. Chopper with this Sojourn is now so much more mobile. Paired with this Juno, very frustrating. Chopper in trouble. In the back line, Maverick able to find one. Mardox, Pain-Cray, and Floomfee all combined for the first team kill we see from ARTEMIS. Now we're starting to see them cook. But that's only the first course. We need the 6. We need dessert. Charge up main. Pain-Cray and Mavericks down the front lines, but Rocket's already doing damage to the back. Supports taken out. Soundberry to ensure victory. ARTEMIS, nothing left in the tank side from the DPS ultimates, and those DPS aren't trouble, but Maverick finds 2. Amadou's got pulse, but they lost the point. In a mad dash for the health pack, they forgot their greatest asset. Ast finds 2. But Maverick's still alive. No retake yet. Neptune takes down 1, but Maverick finds the 4th. Retake by the tank. I need your help, Goose. I got a bogey on me. Chopper guns him down. Spin to win. Rocket can sock it as well. Second flashpoint goes to Nightmare. What a fight, though. Maverick, man. I don't know what you got packed inside those steel fists, but it's certainly not regulation. Unfortunate, again, such a hard-fought point. So tragic. Did not see it come to fruition. But nonetheless, can they get it done on this third? You really just can't go down 2 maps. It can't be allowed. The overclock comes in from Chopper. Maverick instantly silences them with a knuckle sandwich. Finds another on an iron. Disgusting work here from the tank. Reconsider your bans and talk to the hand. Maverick batters him back to base. First dibs secured on the third by ARTEMIS. Annihilation ready? That's what I like to see. Amadou's now on this Cole. Amadou's now back in the pearly gates. Chopper gonna send Pain-Cray to the same location. Double DPS down. Mardox can try to provide some staunch resistance with that Coalesce, but you don't want to see that ultimate used now that your team's all dead. Mardox sadly did not hear the fabled warning and will fall as soon as the ult's popped. Luckily, Maverick does not have that similar issue. And look at them, they're keeping Maverick alive. Staggering the death timers, that's just cruel. And now the onslaught begins. You shouldn't have stepped up, Rocket. Packs Amadou in an Amazon Prime Fast package right on back to the spawn room. That is disgusting, but it's what makes Nightmare the best. And a complete disregard for ethics on the battlefield. Here comes the Vendetta ult alongside the high noon, but instead the sun sets in Amadou's life. Rocket lets the head roll. Pain-Cray will meet a similar feat at the end of the Executioner's axe. 90% for Nightmare. And Amadou's dead too. No touch for you. A touch is possible and a touch is found. But Mardox instead touches God's hand. Pain-Cray, the same fate. Held in place. Nothing to do but watch. Nightmare take map 2.
Play of the game.
Yeah, that's fair. This Vendetta has been deadly. Amadou pops ult. High noon. Look higher, buddy. She's above you. Solid stuff, honestly. You really can't ask for better from Nightmare. And Artemis, to their credit, are putting up staunch resistance. Maverick himself has been a fantastic stalwart bulwark against their offense. You see in these hands, Pacquiao, Prime. Someone get Maverick up against Jake Paul. Not a fair fight. Now, though, we do stand at death's door. ILIAD Artemis got to try to dig their heels in deep. And again, I do say on this second map loss, I think it's a very tall task. I think it already was. But I imagine in the heads of these players, this is where that defeatist mentality can start to sink in. You can't let that happen. You genuinely cannot. Games are won just as often on the keyboard as they are in the mind. You have to believe you can win. No matter who's standing up against you, you have to think that you are the best. You cannot let the possibility of defeat enter your mind. Hopefully, Artemis still has some fight left in the tank. We'll see what that tank's going to take us in a moment as we head on to that potential last map, third up on tap. And for Nightmare, you know, at the same time, it's for them just day in the life. This is what they do. They go out, they murder fools. They come home, and that's about it. They wash their hands of the blood, and they get to go to sleep at night like babies. Despite their name being Nightmare, they have not even a dream. It's a peaceful sleep. Murdersapi is going to be the third map, and I need to see that Vendetta ban like yesterday. I think that's a very key aspect of making sure to limit the offensive potential of Nightmare. I don't think we've seen the Tracer be considered by Nightmare. So hopefully we can oblige by that. We'll see what Artemis decided to do. After all, they are the players that are in the field right now. Even if from our almighty eye in the sky perspective, it seems like that the Vendetta's the problem. Potentially it could be a tank pick instead. But I do think that Nightmare doing a great job controlling Maverick and what they're able to contribute to the fight. I think that's been key. The DPS duo so far of Artemis have been hit or miss. Amadou's had some moments of struggle. Duck was as well in that first map. We'll see if things can maybe change up this time around. Picks and bans coming at you in just a moment. And Artemis have got quite the struggling decision to make. Do they go for the DPS or do they go for the tank? They take off the Zarya instead, which is interesting considering that Nightmare had done that prior themselves. It does protect the tank slot for Maverick, while also guaranteeing some of their better matchups. That Hazard has less to fear now. What will Nightmare respond with? What are they afraid of? What keeps the boogeyman up at night? Taxes, probably. Season's coming up, folks. Spooky stuff aside, the campfire story I'd love to tell is the one where ILIAD Artemis come back for a reverse sweep. Nightmare, actually, in a surprise decision. Honestly, I think throwing a bit of a bone here to Artemis. Potentially a cocky move that could cost them big. They banned Vendetta. They say, all right, let's see if Rocky can play another character. Let's see if they're a one trick. I can respect it, but they gotta back up the smack. Mess with the bull. What do you get, Orange? Horns. Yeah, the horns. Murdersapi is your next map. Potentially the last in this first of three. To decide if Artemis leave with a positive record or a negative, it's push. Equal and opposite reactions, baby. The reaction so far has just been awe of Nightmare and their ability to piece apart a team composition without needing much synergy. They've got it for sure, but individually as players, they're so capable of manifesting picks without investing much. So what does the line look like now for Maverick and the posse? Well, it's the Junker Queen. She's been evicted from New Junk City after all, so I guess she's now got to go elsewhere. She's globetrotting. Paincare's on the Tracer. Grateful to see that. Duck and Quack is back after our friend Amadou is having a bit of a hard time in the last map. Sadly, it's no easier for Pancare. They're already dead. See Chopper sticking to the Sojourn. I don't blame him one bit. Rocket on the Symmetra as the pivot. That'd be rather annoying to deal with. Extra kick in the butt she's going to give to his ability to return back. The war cry from Maverick and a Sidewinder as well. As they take down two. Hands, knives, anything up close and personal. You don't want it in Maverick's hands. Stuck on this Genji, doing a great job of haranguing and harassing. Hideko and Diva both go down. The baby is dragged right back, and now it's a similar treatment we saw before. They're bullying this baby. That was brutal to watch. Infanticide committed by Flumphy. Artemis about to reach threshold. There's 3 meters separate them from the lead, and they will garner it. And that's massive. The longer we go into this game, the more important that becomes. Artemis doing a good job not letting their eyes be taken off the ball. They're going to keep on pushing, knowing that every inch in this game mode can matter by so much. Chopper in trouble. Lays down Disruptor to dissuade further pursuit. Ass brings the death from above. A great Suzu. Keeps their target safe and instead erases Maverick. Now everything's turned around. This is where a disengage has got to be called, but instead, Mardox and Pancare stand on business. That's fine, but now you're laying 6 feet under. I think we're not disengaging quickly enough on Artemis' side. We are trying to fight the good fight when you know that not only is there a snowball's chance in hell of it, but Nightmare are also willing to let you stay alive, to stagger you further. Disengage or die quick. Disruptor comes through. Suzu as well. A lot of utility used right there. Nyan drops the rush. Chopper drops down Duck in a hurry. And the Symmetrical one as well. Splits the fight, and Maverick's already split in half. This fight's good as done. Luckily, only Mardox dropped the ultimate. But unfortunately, Nightmare now approached the point. 10 meters away. Maverick's got Rampage. Duck on Quack. I'd love to see them use that in conjunction with the Blade. Suzu needs to get baited out though first. Sound Barrier comes out first. Blade as well. Duck cannot find anything. Healed back up. Here comes the Rampage. A big ante. Suzu only cleanses Chopper. Rocket falls. The rest of the team retreats. That's the disengage that Artemis need to utilize themselves. Nonetheless, the point was to keep the lead, and Artemis obliged. They will meet staunch resistance, though, once that bot reaches the barricade. That ultimate from Duck's been honestly the least important aspect of this character. It's a shame. Ast forces Suzu out. Again, thorn in the side of this tank player, on this Diva especially. Bomb ready. Kitsune Rush nearly charged. Nyans can get there first. The bomb for pressure around the corner is going to be really useful to ensure the stalemate goes the way of Nightmare. Maverick, meanwhile, just looking for a big pull. Best you could hope for is one on this Symmetra. But how do you get it when Ast is already taking out your back line? Bloomfeed done. And Pancare, like, doesn't even have a Tracer to duel with, so they've got to fight on their own terms. Does manage to nail Chopper. That's what we need to see. Great recall, but you find yourself still in the back line of the fray. Double pick there for a Rocket. Make it a triple. Ensures the fight goes Nightmare's way, and damn near ensures they'll take the lead. 5 minutes left on the clock. Can we touch? Tracer comes in, contests. That's all that was needed. Now the rest of the team can come through. Marduk does have ultimate, but a bomb's ready from the D.Va. It'll be dropped. Instant retreat comes through. The war cry for the added jolt of agility. Duck's got a swift strike back to safety, and back and forth we go. Maverick unfortunately overextends and finds themselves on the wrong end of D.Va's guns. Had Rampage in pocket too. This is gonna look rough. Pulse bomb applied. Rocket blows up like 4th of July. No, Duck will be traded out. Advantage still Nightmare. Nightmare now bear the lead as well. If there's any moment for Artemis to you feel like dig in their heels, it was there, but unfortunately just didn't have room on the point. The Rampage comes through. It's a sound barrier in response. Anti-heal doesn't matter if we have overhealth. Sound barrier response from Floofy. Suzu comes through, and Duck exits the fray. Bloodless so far. Chopper, the first one to go. A support on top does mean that Nightmare will not escape this fight unscathed. Solid work by the Junker Queen. Now they have to quickly try to regain those meters. It does seem like Nightmare will likely be able to regain a bit of ground. Ask doing what they're supposed to, knowing that they need to quickly die to rejoin the rest of the fray. War cry to pick up the pace. Only 9 meters for Artemis to gain back that lead at this point with 3 minutes left. The next person to secure this lead in the next minute could very well just be the victor outright. More fights are needed to get more ground as the game continues. Only that ultimate from Duck. Only the Kitsune rush from Anion. But so far these Dragon Blades have been rough. Let's see if it goes better this time. Duck starts off strong, drops Chopper. Maverick unfortunately goes down, but Anion will fall. Rocket shoots for the heavens and sends 3 to the pearly gates. This Symmetra is deadly. The Dragon Blade. Swords don't beat lasers. Wiped away by modern technology. 2 minutes and 30 seconds, certainly possible. But it's got to feel more insurmountable with every D.Va dive. A war cry for a disengaged. Maverick in trouble. Needs the heals, but they're only being sprinkled. We need a flood. Mardox gets drowned out. And the rest of the team combines for 2 more. Rocket on the Symmetra has been phenomenal. The deficit continues to grow. Nightmare approach the final stretch as Ass takes the Vanguard. Guaranteeing space at this point. Artemis will have to win several back-to-back fights to have a chance. Floofy didn't. Caught in the sky, the overclock comes through. The war cry will not ferry them to safety. Instead, it'll ferry you across the river Styx. Bomb in pocket here for D.Va in just a moment. Maverick, put the choppers. 3 ultimates for Artemis. And these sound barriers are not obvious as far as when to use them for Floofy because there's minimal investment. Nightmare can just spawn kills at will. Swift strike means no mobility. D.Va's got plenty of it. Rampage gonna solo ult that D.Va. Sound barrier to ensure safety. Mardox first to fall. Rocket trade out. That's honestly pretty solid. The bomb from the D.Va. Dangerous. The deflect. Great swift strike back to the health pack. Duck's still up. Trying to finish off that D.Va, but the turrets dissuade them. Rocket, even from the grave, still assisting. Neptune buried at sea. 30 seconds left. It's possible, but it's an uphill battle. At least 3 fights in the horizon for a chance at victory. Mardox the first with ult. Duck. Such heavy pressure from the Sim. D.Va knows it. Only way out is forward. The only way out is to butcher. A Dragon's Blade comes out, but Rocket once again says sticks and stones don't even break my bones. Lasers certainly hurt a lot though. Nightmare, take it, 3-0. Solid work on both sides, but at the end of the day, you can't deny the pedigree. That is Nightmare. Rocket, back-to-back MVPs, and there's no surprise why. That guy is a Fusillon, an M80. Ready to pop off at any moment. This highlight reel is going to be a hell of a lot of Rocket. Look at this. There's some vendettas they got against you, buddy. Maverick had this one solid play where they were able to take him out for sure. And Maverick, honestly, in general, was a shining beacon that Artemis could rally around for a lot of today's games. Unfortunately, it's not enough. So many individual threats from Nightmare. Rocket, Chopper, and Ast were doing amazing jobs at taking out threats without really needing to do much. Neptune and Ion, for their credit, just needed to keep them alive, and they performed that beautifully. This is a great case of it. Ast tried to finish off one, or rather, Maverick, in the face of Ast tried to, but Ast using the Jets not only for mobility, but amazing crowd control and peel. Happened several times across the series. Payne Correa, for their credit, gave it their all, but these pulses were not finding Rocket as consistently as they needed to for as low mobility of a character Symmetra is. And I can't blame them for it. Again, that backline peel was very difficult to chew through. Stuck with these ultimates, of course, against a Symmetra, you're just going to have a hard time as a Genji. So with that, Nightmare do take it away in a clean sweep. Well, I say clean. Artemis certainly gave him a bit of bruise. Bit of a battering. Took one round there in the first. And those Flashpoint maps, despite being 0-3, I don't think that reflects the intensity of some of those point battles. Nonetheless, Nightmare came to do what they wanted to do, and they were able to accomplish it. Credit to them. They are certainly worthy opponents, and I hope that ILIAD feel they've put up a worthy fight, because I certainly would agree with that notion. At the end of the day, there are some teams that have just been training for longer, have been playing together for longer, and all you can do is hope to capture some of that greatness and, you know, put your own little ILIAD spin on it. I certainly think that despite the 3-0 loss, they gave it their all, and at the end of the day, that's really all you can hope for. That being said, though, with that clean sweep, that is all we're going to have for you here today on the ILIAD esports stream. ILIAD Artemis up against Nightmare for the FaceIt League. Hearty congratulations to Nightmare. Very worthy opponents indeed, and we hope that you guys continue to dominate as your season continues. To our friends on Artemis, hey, better luck next time. Take a look at the VOD, capture the lightning in a bottle, find out what works, and find out what you got to chopper. I've been D'Lo, joined here in the booth by my friends Almighty Eye in the Sky, Hippie, keeping the prod lights on and that cam steady, as well as our friend Orange, making sure to do all the obsing necessary to ensure we have any games to cast. Please, again, make sure to thank our production for all they do. We could not yell at games without them. XYBA Productions, last lips when it comes to Overwatch production. As always, a huge thanks to our friend Smurf for even allowing us on here. It's good to be back behind the mic. I know Musi felt the exact same way last go around. We're just happy to be here. Happy y'all are watching, and hope y'all are happy to see some more ILIAD esports. Keep an eye to the sky for more ILIAD esports content coming at you in the future. Last, but certainly not least, thank you, loyal, obedient viewer, for your time. We hope you've enjoyed this series just as much as we have. Make sure to enjoy that long weekend. Stay safe, stay healthy, good games, and good night.